Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Imagine waking up, you check the news, and you see this headline. Almost feels too good to be true, right? Oil prices plummeting. You know that feeling when gas prices just make you wince? Well, think the opposite, because that's pretty much what happened this morning. So yeah, we're going to do a deep dive into this geopolitical earthquake, but in a good way. It sent these huge ripples through the energy markets. You're talking about President Trump's announcement, the forever ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And our mission really is to figure out how this huge news hits you, your wallet, your grocery bill, the whole economic picture you deal with every day.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating is just how fast, how profound the market reaction was. I mean, within hours of the announcement.
Really? Hours?
Yeah, crude oil prices, they dropped almost 3%, settled around 680 a barrel.
66.80.
And to give you some context, that's a level we haven't really seen since, what, mid-June?
It's a big shift.
A big shift. And it shows this huge surge in optimism in the markets. And crucially, it really eases those inflation fears that have been gripping, well, everyone.
Right. The central banks must be breathing a little easier.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in Europe and the U.S. They've been battling inflation hard, lower oil prices. That's a massive sigh of relief for them. It helps blunt inflation across the board, eases pressure on consumers, transport costs, the whole supply chain.
Makes sense. Cheaper fuel means cheaper shipping.
Exactly. And that can mean more stable prices for, well, pretty much everything you buy, your coffee, groceries.
That's incredible. You hear about geopolitics hitting markets, but the speed here,
Yeah,
the conviction, really stands out. And it's not just about the gas pump, is it?
not at all.
We're seeing energy stocks of, the big oil companies, their shares, they're reacting super fast too.
That's right. Energy-linked equities move quickly.
But it goes even further, right? Like
Hmm.
advertising for commodities, how does that work?
Well, think about it. If raw material costs drop, maybe companies feel they have more budget, consumer spending might free up a bit. It can create a ripple effect.
Okay, so this deep dive, it's really crucial because it just lays bare how connected everything is. A peace declaration, this forever ceasefire idea halfway across the world.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's touching, well, everything in your personal economy.
Absolutely. And historically, tensions in the Middle East, they usually bake in what's called a risk premium into oil prices.
Right? Traders expect potential problems, disruptions.
Exactly. And that pushes prices up. So this ceasefire announcement from President Trump, it signals an unexpected drop in that perceived risk.
What's interesting, though, is how seriously the market seems to be taking it, right? I mean, forever is a long time.
It's a very bold claim.
Hmm.
But yes, the market, at least initially, seems to believe in its durability, or at least a significant reduction in immediate risk. It suggests a real shift, for now, in perceived stability in the region.
It really is powerful seeing optimism translate into actual economic shifts so quickly. But, I have to ask, this all sounds incredibly positive, almost too positive. Are there, complexities or downsides the market might be missing in this first rush of excitement?
That's a very fair question.
Could there be challenges to keeping this piece going forever that we should maybe keep in the back of our minds?
Look, the market's reacting mostly to the lack of an immediate threat right now. It doesn't necessarily guarantee perfect stability forever, of course.
All right, it's about the now.
Exactly. And for now, the economic impact is clearly positive. Lower input costs for industries, a bit of a boost for consumer confidence if inflation fears ease.
That all makes sense.
But the long-term picture, that absolutely depends on whether this ceasefire actually holds. If it genuinely does.
If it sticks.
If it sticks, yeah. Then the economic benefits could be really profound, really lasting. It would remove a major source of global jitters.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway for you listening?
I think it's just seeing that stark link, that immediate connection between geopolitics stability, or even just the news of stability, and our everyday economics.
Yeah, that powerful link.
And the speed of this reaction, with oil prices responding so fast, really highlights how maybe fragile or interconnected things like global supply chains are.
It does, and it shows how quickly sentiment, how quickly optimism can just wash through the markets.
So it leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? Given how fast the market reacted positively here, what does that really tell us about maybe how much the global economy has been, well, held back maybe by these regional tensions?
That's a deep question. How much risk was priced in?
Yeah. And looking ahead, and it's an if, but if a forever ceasefire like this actually holds, what could that mean long term? for our lives, beyond just cheaper gas, in a world where maybe one big source of volatility just disappears.